Welcome to the second day of the International Conference on Sports and Education. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Volkan Altıntaş to welcome you.
Can we turn on the light, please? Işığı açabilir miyiz? Lütfen. Teşekkürler. Good morning. I hope you feel better than yesterday. It was a bit tiring day, but it was really fruitful and interesting topics we discussed. And especially today's sessions, we will be reaching from different regions in Europe. Stream, and we have also distinguished guests face to face. I would like to also tell about something about today's afternoon session. We will have two parallel sessions. If you really interested in, it could be really important topics we will be discussing. So I would like to welcome all distinguished participants, and I would like to give the floor, Roberto, maybe say something about second day, and we will be watching all day closely. Thank you very much. Welcome again.
Good morning, everyone, and we are ready for the second day. It's going to be another day full of contribution, distinguished friends, colleagues, professors, and also the contributors from the field in sport education and tourism. And I hope we're going to have participation from an interaction like yesterday, but even more than yesterday, because at the end of the day is what matters, is what the connection we're going to have. And maybe the future possibility for projects, academic papers, training opportunities, and moreover for students with the follow-up of what we started yesterday, because the student challenge, I guess, was kind of new for someone, but in our opinion was a great success as well. Thanks again for all the organizer, all the people that are behind this amazing conference. And I don't want to take more time. And thank you for being here.
To begin the first session, I now invite the chair, Professor Dr. Cengiz Demir, to the stage, along with the speakers, Melih Kayacık, Dr. Semiha Çemli.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our session. Now we have two valuable speakers in this section. First of all, Mr. Melih Kayacık, Manager of Tourism Director, İzmir Metropolitan Municipality, and our second speaker from Spain via the online connection, Dr. Semiha Çemli, İKÇÜ University. And they will talk about spectrum of sports tourism. Yes, I now give the floor to the esteemed speaker, Melih Kayacık.
Hello,
Thank you for welcoming us here. Can we show the presentation? Okay. Dear participants, first of all, I would like to welcome you to our city. I would like to also extend my gratitude to everyone involved in this organizing event. Izmir, renowned for its historical and cultural heritage, also stands out with its broad sports potential across various areas, ranging from outdoor sports to water sports. Today, I will present a detailed perspective on the opportunities Izmir offers in the field of sports tourism and the efforts of Izmir Metropolitan Municipality to further develop this potential. Sports and tourism as complementary elements foster peace and understanding between societies. Sports events bring people from different cultures together, promoting cultural interaction. The spending of tourists attending these events contributes to the overall economy of our city. According to the world's leading tourism and sports organization, 30% of global tourism revenues generate from the sports tourism. This percentage, based on a total tourism income of $476 billion annually, amounts to $152 billion. According to the data from the TURSAP, 66.5% of participants prefer sports-centered vacations and travel to the destinations as spectators and or participants in events. In Izmir, international events for various sports disciplines such as Gran Fondo, Wings for Life, Marathon Izmir, and European Under-18 men's basketball championships are held. The most significant of these events was 2005 Universiade, which left a lasting mark on the city and made a significant contribution to the development of its sports infrastructure. Therefore, sports tourism not only increases the length of stay and per capita spending of tourists, but also presents an important opportunity for promoting the city. Izmir's favorable climate enhances its potential to attract tourists throughout the year and ensures the sustainability of sports tourism. One of the key areas that comes to mind when talking about sports tourism in Izmir is water sports. The city has 66 blue flag beaches along its 629-kilometer coastline. Alaçatı, known worldwide for water sports like windsurfing and kitesurfing, is a prime destination. With its magnificent sea and year-round rounds, Alaçatı has become an ideal center for these sports. Alaçatı has gained international recognition by hosting championships such as Vakkorama Water Sports Championships, Turkey Windsurfing, and the IFCA Fin and Foil Slalom European Championships. The region offers both high-quality accommodation facilities and training centers for water sports. The economic benefits of sports tourism are contributing to the growing tourism potential of the area. On the other hand, for those interested in cycling, Izmir stands out with the Eurovelo 8 bike route. The Izmir section of Eurovelo 8 covers 17 districts, passing through historical sites and ancient settlements, connecting to the islands of Lesbos and Chios, to the ports of Dikili and Çeşme, and extending from Pergamon to Ephesus. The 500-kilometer section offers a variety of attractions such as summer tourism, agriculture routes, local cuisine, and hospitable communities, while hosting 17 ancient cities.
Investments made by Izmir Metropolitan Municipality under the Eurovelo project, including paving, bike maintenance units, and repair centers, strengthen the infrastructure and make this route more attractive to both domestic and foreign tourists. As a result of these comprehensive efforts, the Eurovelo Cycling Tourism Conference was held in Izmir in 2023. The Izmir Sports Summit held this year brought a new vision to the entities, raising awareness among young people. Izmir's sports infrastructure holds significant potential, particularly with recently renewed Alsancak and Gürsellaksel stadiums, along with the Bornova Aziz Kocaoğlu Stadium, Tire Gazi Mustafa Kemal Atatürk Stadium, and the Atatürk Stadium, one of the largest capacity in Turkey. At the Department of Sports Medicine Clinic of Ege University in Izmir, sports injuries are diagnosed, treated, and rehabilitated, while pre-season health checks for professional athletes are carried out to reduce the risk of injury. Additionally, physical activity and exercise programs are offered to promote healthy living and prevent chronic diseases. And also the Asian cuisine, which is suitable for healthy living and athlete nutrition, offers a nourishing diet made up of olive oil, fresh vegetables, seafood, legumes, and grains. Olive oil, rich in healthy fatty acids, helps balance energy levels and aids in the post-exercise recovery process. Leafy greens and local herbs are excellent resources of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Fish varieties, rich in quality protein and omega-3, support the muscle development and accelerate post-exercise recovery. Additionally, e-sport tournaments held in Izmir have become a major attraction for both amateur and professional players. E-sport tourism, especially popular among young tourists, contributes to the city's modern tourism concept. In August 2024, the largest e-sport event in Turkey was held at Fuar Izmir, where the best League of Legends Team of the Year was determined. The Green Destination and GSTC Global Sustainable Tourism Council certification efforts led by Izmir Metropolitan Municipality also promote sustainable tourism efforts. In this context, the municipality aims to make Izmir an eco-friendly sports destination by integrating sports tourism with environmental protection efforts. Efeler Yolu is one of the most significant examples of this sustainability of efforts. Efeler Yolu passes through 28 villages and has a length of 500 kilometers. It was created to protect Izmir's natural and cultural wealth and promote rural development. It's also an important project aimed to increasing Izmir's rural tourism potential and was listed among the top 100 stories by Green Destination in 2023. Izmir stands out as a city that can best utilize its potential due to its natural and cultural wealth, modern sports infrastructure, and ability to host international events. Sports tourism not only increases Izmir's international recognition, but also revitalizes the local economy and contributes to sustainable tourism. Further development of this potential will ensure the lasting success of Izmir in the tourism sector and enhance the city's prominence on the international stage. Thank you for taking time and welcome to Izmir again.
Thank you very much. We can get the questions to our speaker, Melih Kayacık. Maybe I would like to start by my question. Mr. Melih Kayacık, do you know Izmir has a good organization experience in 2005, organized university games. Did you remember?
Yes, I remember.
Universiad.
I was 21 years old, a student in Izmir, and all the young peoples were interested in that university, all the students in Izmir will take part of that organization, and it was really necessary that the city was full of young people, full of university students, and too many tourism professionals. During university in 2025, I remember that I saw too many tourists in my city, and I also see that too many young people with their families have come to Izmir, and it was a very, very good organization for Izmir. The most it's a tourism city.
Yes, I remember. I think municipality of Izmir create a village.
Yes.
Did you remember?
Yes. Olympiad villages.
And I just wonder, do we have enough accommodation facilities to support sports tourism during today's in the year of 2024?
Yes, I believe we have got to accommodation facilities also in city center, like big hotels, and also in İKÇÜ. The accommodation facilities are very good for the tourists, because when they come to hotel, they will have good services. In city center, you can go for walking or shopping or drinking some juices and having a food. The hotels are in the city center. And also in İKÇÜ, the weather is fine for all the year, and the accommodation facilities have high standards for the tourists.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any question? Microphone. And before asking your question, please introduce yourself for our audience here.
Okay, good morning. My name is Maria. I'm the Vice President of Miramonte NGO, the President of NGO Nest Berlin. First of all, thank you very much for your presentation, because personally for me, it's the first time here in Izmir. So I didn't have the chance to make a tour, and thanks to your presentation, I did it virtually, thanks to your words. I've been many times in Turkey, but it's the first time here, and I think we have a lot of similarities with the place that I come from, which is Sardinia. Like the culture of welcoming, but as well you talk about culinary traditions, and especially also the creation of events. So my question is, how much effort is putting the tourist directorate in improving the low season, let's say, tourists, because this is such a hot topic for us. So I would like to know what are the strategies, and in case if you are open to do a project together for boost the economy during the low season by using events, as you said, especially sporting events. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. For low seasons, Izmir tourism stands on cultural tourism, and the weather in Izmir, we have got 300 days without raining, and most of them with sun. So we have stands out with cultural tourism. Ephesus, Bergama, but in the city center, Agora, Kemeraltı, and Yeşilova. The main strategy of tourism depends on culture, and gastronomy tourism is supporting this cultural tourism. In low seasons, making organizations like this sport tourism, a conference, and other organizations, we want to promote still. These organizations is a way of promoting the city that you see a small part of Izmir, and to make you a plan for your holiday to Izmir. You see some parts of Izmir, but I hope you will plan a holiday and vacation to Izmir for 4 or 5 days. And you will need at least a week to discover Izmir. At the north side, Ephesus, and then coming to the city center, you must visit Foça, Genoese Castle, and the Foça district. Then in city center, you will find too many attraction points for shopping, for gastronomy, and then you will need to visit Urla, Ephesus, and Ödemiş Bilgi. Also, in last years, Bilgi and Şirince was selected one of the best tourism villages by United Tourism or World Tourism Organization. And these two villages are offering a location which you will feel historical, which you see the historic houses and authentic houses there. So in these low seasons, making international organizations, Congress, this is a way of promoting city. And also we are promoting Izmir as a cultural destination with these ancient cities for these low seasons. In summer, Izmir is too hot, and we have got too many sea, sand tourism options. But for autumn, winter, we are planning to promote Izmir with its cultural heritage.
What else? Any question? I may get a question from our student. No? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kayacık. Our second speaker from Spain, Deusto University, Dr. Senya Chimney.
Hello, good morning. Thank you very much for welcoming me, and thank you for this beautiful organization. I was listening to our previous speaker, Mr. Melik Kayacık, and it was really, really interesting. I will follow up a little bit, but from another side. So I'm going to present first, put my presentation. Just one moment. Can you please confirm to me that you can see the presentation?
Yes, we see your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to follow up with, as I mentioned now, as some issues that I'm going to mention now are related to some of the words of Mr. Melik, like related to international events, the sustainability, importance of to the economy, etc. So I would like to go through the main categories of sports tourism first. Going from the event sports tourism for the spectators to active sport tourism participating to activities, which is also related to some additional categories, as we can see in the soft adventure sports tourism or extreme sport tourism, where people also are going to go specifically to participate. The nostalgia sports tourism, which is actually attracting lots of tourists to go and visit some areas in the world, specifically to see a stadium or to visit an area where we had Olympics games, and then the luxury sports tourism for exclusive golf vacation, for example. But we will have another example later about not specifically golf, but luxury tourism, which is directing themselves towards using sport to attract more tourists or to change their own concepts. Just a little overview, although we have had already a short overview about sports tourism. The simple definition of the United Nations sports tourism is a type of tourism activity which refers to the travel experience. So we are talking about experiential elements here of the tourist who either observes as a spectator or actively participates in the sporting event, generally involving commercial and non-commercial activities of competitive nature. It is a very important industry nowadays, and we are seeing so many changes according or related to this sub-industry. It's one of the fastest growing sector in tourism. It ensures around 10% of the world's expenditure in tourism. The compound growth rate is around 17.5% from 2023 to 2030. And at the same time, it is promoting the pillars of sustainability, focusing on the social side, on the economic side, and then the environmental side. But a little further than sustainability, it focuses also on legacy. And this would interest very much certain cities, as when we talk about legacy, we are not talking only about making an event, sports event to bring people. We are bringing people that they are going to impact somehow on the destination, leave their fingerprint there or change something, or maybe bring more knowledge or transform somehow the city or the region. We have many examples like this of regions which are focusing on sustainability and now focusing on legacy, and events are somehow behind this, and sports events mainly are behind this. Some of the most popular cities for sports tourism, according to the statistics in summer 2024, Boston, Barcelona, Japan with sumo, Liverpool, London. So these are some of the most important ones, and through the years also, not only in summer 2024. In terms of global sports tourism market, here there are the same figures that you have here, but one is split in football or soccer, depending on which region we are in, cricket, motorsport, tennis, and other. And you can see them by colors here from 2022 to 2032. The most important is that we are moving from 2022 in $511 billion into 2032 with a compound annual growth rate of around 16.8%, which is enormous. So this industry is very important. We are going to talk about some trends. I didn't go to, let's say, theoretical trends. I made it in a way that we could see some concrete examples. But before that, what is behind these trends in sports tourism? We have the increased health and fitness awareness. We have people themselves, and sometimes the cities also are behind this. Sustainability and well-being focus, the sports popularity and global events, which are making people move from one country to another specifically to watch or to participate. The rise in adventure and experiential travel, as I said earlier, which has been, let's say, one of the consequences, the beautiful consequences of the COVID. So we started going more on adventure, on more rural areas, etc. And this has an impact on our trends also. The government support and investment when we have the governments involved, especially for those cities which are moving from car-oriented cities to more sustainable cities with better types of transportation, etc. So people, they move into cycling, for example, they have more spaces for cycling, and they move from cycling on their normal days to cycling and more hiking and more activities and mountainous activities, etc. So the government does a lot at these stages. The social media influence, technological advancement, and we are going to see some examples later, and the economic growth and purchase power. So all these are bringing up, let's say, the trends that I'm stating today. First of all, one of the main trends that has been seen is the adaptive offering. So we are adapting our offer. Many businesses are actually adapting their offers to these new types of tourists, or to the growth of these types of tourists. Here I have the example of the Hilton Grand Vacations Club. This is it has been at the beginning wholly owned subsidiary of Hilton. and it's located in Florida, and they have completely changed their business plan, their business model. So right now what they are doing, they are focusing more on sports tourism, and they are providing a unique sports-related experience. I put here the different steps that they go through for, any tourist who wants to go to the Health Insurance Vacations Club. They will pick the sporting event that they want to be in, and then they will decide their own timeline. They will book the accommodation, they will plan the itinerary, and then they'll create their own personalized package list with the different activities that they want to do. So it was not at all the idea of the Health and Grand Vacation when they've started. So these are new changes. Second, racketeering. I put sport in bracket, not to understand it differently. So everything which is involving a racket. So here we can see some good example of newly built spaces like the Marbella Club Paddle, for example. They have enhanced, they have made specifically attracting tourists to play and to organize their own special events. We have also the most epic prime tennis events in the world. So organization of specific targeted events to specific type of sport or to an activity that people, they come and they participate in. And here we have the pickleball in Paradise. Also, it's another example where they show their potential tourists, what they can do exactly there. And actually the main picture, this is taken from the website, and this is the main picture. Different tourists sitting together, because it looks like a team, like a sports team, but it is not. It's simply a tourism product. We have the athletic adventure also. I put again here the same facts that we've seen, the same figures that we've seen earlier, just as a reminder. But for the adventure tourism global market report, we have a compound annual growth rate of 20.4%, going from 23 to 28. Again, very, very appealing market. Some hotel groups and hotel chains, they are focusing on this. Like the Accor Hotel, for example, in summer 2024, they are focusing mainly on summer of sports in the context of Europe. Here we have some of their words. Accor in 2024, more travelers will combine their passion for recreational sports with their love for travel enthusiasts and increasingly traveling to participate in marathons, half marathons, triathlons, and actually we are seeing them being organized, but everyone has, let's say, the focus on that from the side of the industry. So awareness of the importance of the sector. POB hotels, there are not many. They are in the UK. There are not many, only between 50 and 54 accommodation. And they have made a report to see the importance of well-being and outdoors activities. As one of the main trends today. Okay, it's we will do cycling to focus on well-being. We are going to go to adventure, focus on well-being, outdoor activities, etc. So they've made this survey, and I took one part of the survey to just share it with you today. They were asking which of the following types of wellness activities would appeal while on holiday. They have made it with 246 number of participants to the survey, and if you see the outdoor activities, they are 45%. So accounting a lot for what the tourists they are looking for. Of course, there are other elements which are directly related to digital detox, for example, to getting away and going into sports and well-being and outdoor activities. Haiti, it's in the here we are moving to winter sports tourism, and they have mentioned that they say we've seen a 58% increase in long weekend bookings. So now all their focus, and this is another move from the industry, aligning with what people they are asking. They say that you can still have your enjoy your ski, but in a short weekend. So they are seeing lots of bookings on weekends, which has not been before. Here we have some examples of the most popular ski weekend holidays. that they are offering, and then we go into some hidden ones, which are the less popular ones, and they are all offering nowadays the long ski weekends. What's next? Not to be long, as we have promised to keep on the time. I'm going to talk about mainly 2 points. First, as this conference is about sport and education, I wanted to highlight that many universities, higher education is aligning themselves to this move of the importance of sport and sports management and sports tourism, linking them to events, linking them to many other topics in education. And here I give some examples. In our university, for example, we have the soccer management, European football, which is part of the CDA program, just mainly for specific groups of students, and soccer in Spain, identity and society. And there is another very interesting BA, which is offered by Les Roches, which is specifically on sports business management. And this they go through specific program related only to the field. Going into what would be next, let's say, which is appearing in many other fields, the virtual reality technology that would allow to explore and experience the actual sports destination. So we can use it. It could be used positively or negatively. For now, what exists on there are simply gaming, which are allowing you to ski or allowing you to do to play within those destinations. But the destinations themselves, they can go into that move later, into using them to promote and make a kind of experience for the tourists pre-arrival, for them to choose what types of sports they can go into. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions, you're more than welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Senia. Any question to our speaker? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Volkan Altıntaş is speaking. Hi, Samia, thank you very much for this really interesting presentation. Actually, I would like to one specific question because you did many research, I know, from academia. And you lived in Asia Pacific countries like South Korea. If you compare that region and now in Europe, lifestyle and so on and so forth, many details inside. If you recommend one research topic, what it could be after this very detailed presentation, or do you have any idea or any project ideas? Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question, Volkan, and thank you very much for the invitation and for all the organization. Actually, I was thinking about this, especially that it's been mentioned at the beginning by our moderator, Dr. Jenkins, mentioning that we may open up to research projects. It could be very interesting to go into this, the sports tourism and higher education could be one field of research, very interesting, seeing how how the move is being done, or then go into also technology and sports tourism. We can direct ourselves towards another way, which I have mentioned earlier, not only sustainability but legacy and sports tourism destinations. We can even go into more in depth focus on specific regions in the world, which are under the classification of the most sustainable regions, which are actually promoting a lot of sports tourism. And then we can go through a benchmark and bring out good policies or good strategies.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Samir.
Okay, another question. Okay, Semih, I would like to ask a question related to our Turkish tourism. As an expert, you mentioned most of us will engage in sports tourism at some point in the future. As you know, Turkey is among the top 10 destinations in the world.
Yes.
Okay? by hosting 50 million tourists, more than 50 million tourists. What should we do to support sports tourism in Turkey in order to increase our share in the world? What do you think? What should we do?
Yes. First of all, Turkey is one of the most beloved countries in my heart. So it is very, very appealing and very attractive destination. And that's why I guess it is one of the top 10 destinations in the world. I would think that linking culture to sports tourism for the case of Turkey would be very engaging for people and very appealing. We have the image of Turkey with the culture. We have the image of the attractiveness that we see. Sometimes even for non-visitors, they see through induced images that are provided through film tourism. It could be the link to make a synergy between these two. So an event, a sports event, or even educational event like the one that you are doing now, bringing experts on the field, then we can go into an event like we can see in several destinations having, as I mentioned earlier, a marathon or even a small event, sometimes managed by regions. It means regionally managed, not nationally managed. So we can start with smaller ones. Events would attract a lot. And this would push also some tourists to go to one region and then end up in another region of Turkey that they want to visit, which means that they are going to enlarge a little bit their stay in the country, more spending and more interesting for the destination. This is just the first idea that came to my mind. I mean, relating the cultural part of Turkey to sports tourism. So I think it will be very attractive and appealing for potential visitors, especially those who are like completely on sports tourism and mixing with a beautiful country that they wish to visit. So they will be ongoing.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I add one element here?
Okay.
Sorry. When I spoke about film tourism earlier, why? Because we have seen Turkey also taken advantage of film tourism to enhance the brand image. Then, if we are moving into events and sports tourism, it could also play on the same, aligned with this element, and then it will be, and that's why I spoke about synergy. So we're going to have two types of images, induced images from events and from the cultural side, which is proposed and which is announced in most of the part of film tourism, playing together into enhancing the arrivals of tourists and the good quality of arrivals of tourists also.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
If we don't have any question, I would like to close the session. I thank all of our speakers and participants and organizing committee as well.
I kindly invite the chair of the second session, Assistant Professor Nil Sonuç, to the stage, along with the speakers, Professor Dr. Mikail Tuğanoğlu, Mr. Erdinç Ergün, Mrs. Sinem Soygün, and Mr. Akın Aykurt.
Hello, distinguished guests. I'm Nil Sonuç, Assistant Professor in İKÇÜ University in Tourism Faculty. Welcome our guests first, and welcome for those distinguished guests who come for the first time in Turkey and first time in Izmir, I would like to speak about my city first. This is Amazon city, Izmir, you know. So it was the first time named after an Amazon queen, Smyrna. So you are in extreme west of Anatolia now, and it's one of the most beautiful skies, as Homerus, the ancient lyric poet said, and of course, one of the ancient philosophers of Anatolia, Strabo, said that it's its most beautiful city in the world. So we have to know, we have to go after follow the ancient philosophers. First about the city, to know the city is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. In fact, with the most beautiful climate, Mediterranean climate. Thank you for all the participants to come and support the Sports Tourism Congress. Sport tourism and sustainability, especially sport tourism destinations, SDG gaps and potentials, is the title for this session. And our first speaker is Professor Dr. Mikhail Toganoğlu. He is participating as academic director of the Master of Science Hospitality Management at ESSEC Business School, Paris, France. And as I checked his CV, he is at the same time a very important practicing in the sector, in tourism sector in Greece as well. I'm leaving the floor now to Professor Mikhail Toganoğlu. Welcome. Sorry, we cannot hear you. I think there is a problem with the volume.
I think the microphone is muted.
The microphone is muted. We can maybe try once more. While he is trying to start the microphone, I would like to speak about the sustainability and SDGs. SDGs is the short form for Sustainable Development Goals, and United Nations, has set these goals for especially the destinations first, and then for tourism. And when we are linking the sustainability goals with the sport and tourism, we will see what I'm really interested about this presentation of Mikhail Toganoğlu, as how sustainability comes together with sport and tourism. It must be very interesting. Still, we cannot hear. Change the speaker first? Change the speaker? Okay. Until the technical problem is resolved, we are going to change our speaker. And let's continue with the second speaker, Mr. Erdinç Ergün, diving instructor and owner of Devin Doga Dive Center, Turkey. I'll leave the floor.
Hello.
Sorry. Okay, welcome. Professor Toganoğlu, we hear you very perfectly now. I leave the floor to you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for this. There was a technical problem. If you can hear me, you can start. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you can see also my screen.
Yes, we see and we hear you perfectly.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers and the committee for inviting me to this interesting conference. And also, I would like to say that thank you very much for the introduction about your lovely city. Actually, it's one of my beloved cities, Izmir. I have been there a few times. And of course, I'm looking forward to come again. Maybe possibly because of my last name, you can understand that I have some roots from Anatolia, which is true. And I have very good friends. Some of them are there with you, like Volkan, and others from Izmir mostly. So thank you. And I don't know, we can start the presentation. My topic is about SDGs and sport tourism. The important thing here is that we have to understand how issues related with sport tourism can be connected and related with SDGs. We know very well that sport tourism is quite important globally. It creates and generates a lot of revenues, income for destinations, specifically when they host big sport events like Olympics and others. And we have clear evidence that it also generates about 10% of expenditure on tourism globally. And of course, we are quite sure, and that's why we come to this conference to say that sport tourism can promote social, economic, and environmental action, and of course, sustainability overall. So we spoke about the SDGs. We know very well. I don't want to spend time about explaining about the SDGs. Just briefly mentioning that a few of them can easily be related with sport tourism. For example, decent work and economic growth for a destination who is able to benefit from sport tourism, create more sustainable cities and communities, finding a way to balance the dynamic of sport tourism with real value on the local level, on the city or rural level. Climate action, very important, how we are able to develop sport tourism infrastructure and other facilities, taking into consideration sensitivities related with climate action. And of course, sport tourism allows stakeholders, authorities, participants to join and work together for common goals and a common vision for the destination. So, as I would like to say, we have a few examples that we can easily understand benefits that were created for destinations that they were able to host mega events like Olympics, but at the same time they were able to present some clear and tangible efforts around sustainability. For example, in Tokyo, we had very important policies related with the venues, the facilities. The structure was based on the specific framework with reducing the construction waste. Carbon neutrality, of course, offset emissions through renewable energy was one of the main policies around the Olympics in Japan, in Tokyo. Innovations related with recycling metals, for example, the athletes, metals from e-waste and cardboard beds for athletes. And of course, the impact to the local community, sustainability was a core theme to inspire events also for the future, not only during the Olympics. So it's true that the Olympic Games in Tokyo were able to leverage and enhance the infrastructure, not only for the specific period, but also to be available for the future and also to support tourism and sport tourism in a sustainable way in the future. Of course, we don't speak only about examples that are related with hosting countries or cities of mega events, but we have also other kinds of tourism, like adventure tourism, where the environment is playing a more critical role on the experience side from the visitors. So we have well-known destinations For example, like New Zealand, Queenstown is considered like the adventure capital of the world. We speak about adventure, tourism, sports related with nature and environment. Eco-friendly accommodations also is a very important part of development. Conservation activities that also integrate the participation of visitors. And of course, promoting sustainable tourism is the core, let's say, policy and strategy to preserve natural landscapes, at the same time attracting people that they enjoy a variety of very interesting sports. So yes, we have a variety of examples. I don't want to extend more on that, just to highlight that the 4 SDGs that I mentioned before, they can definitely promote economic growth through sport tourism. And of course, we can put in the center of our policies sustainable cities and communities around these activities and policies for sport tourism. Climate action, very important to consider the tools, the methods, the processes that we follow for developing more the infrastructure than the facilities, more environmental friendly way. And of course, the ability of the participants to create, let's say, what we call a collaborative platform with all stakeholders of the destination, community, NGOs, authorities, associations, to create a common goal, a common vision for the destination around sport tourism and sustainable tourism in general. Of course, we understand that there are a lot of challenges related with sport tourism, specifically on the environmental concern related with waste management, carbon emissions, sometimes over-tourism, when we have seen phenomena in big cities like Paris recently, with congestion, with over-tourism. Social concerns, community displacement, affordability, inequality, where we have increase of prices, difficulties on daily life for the locals in terms of, for the period that we have this kind of events. And of course, economic concern, if we are able to understand and create a reasonable balance between the cost of having these kind of events and the benefit for the host communities, for the host destination. So we have seen recent examples, for example, the demonstrations are against the America's Cup in Barcelona. It's quite recent, because the expectations and what the authorities promised as a benefit, as a value for the city was not actually there, on the contrary. So it's very important to understand what are the needs and the expectation and try to create a balance between the benefits for such events with the inclusivity, with the value, the improvement of the quality of the daily life of the locals, and to make them, let's say, feel happy and satisfied with the whole process and the whole event management. Yes, we don't have only challenges, but we have a lot of opportunities from sport tourism when we're able to align with SDGs, not only those that I mentioned, but even more. We have processes that the destinations can go and have some green certifications related with global metrics and standards like those that are provided by GSTC, Global Sustainable Tourism Council. There are specific destination criteria that can be followed. Promoting, of course, local economies to sport tourism is mostly to be able to maximize the local resources, to strengthen the local community. We know, I understand what means circular economy in these cases, try to use the local resources in a way that creates additional value during these events. And at the same time, of course, technology is a very important part of innovation. We now have the ability to use big data, artificial intelligence for monitoring and measuring, creating tools that allow us to make sure that and understand the impacts on the destination, on the society, environment, and be able to make the right decisions based on this data. And you know very well that technologies are there to help destination and destinations to become more smart, whatever we understand that it means. Planning and let's say strategies, of course, are aligned with the specificities and the DNA, as we can say, for each different destination, city, or rural area. But definitely, we can include in our practices, activities that are related directly with SDG alignment. For example, sustainable event planning and management. There are very specific ways to do that. Community engagement and inclusion can be the pillar of this kind of efforts, to always have the community engaged and participating in all this decision making to understand more the value that is shared. Environmental conservation and restoration is very important, not only for the locals, but also for the visitors to understand the value and appreciate the efforts from the destination side. Economic growth through local partnerships is very important, because we give back to the locals, we give back to those that they have something to provide as a product or as services to take advantage of these events. Accessibility and equity is something that is coming directly from SDGs. We have to be very careful to allow everybody to have access, to be inclusive, and create this kind of, to avoid inequalities as much as possible. And yes, again, the data-driven monitoring through the technology and AI. Transparency, of course, to allow everybody to understand the impact with very specific and tangible data that is able to provide evidence about how we're moving on. What about the future? Yes, it's quite clear that the challenges that we have and the opportunities, if we are able to strategize in order to plan properly, we're able to create carbon neutral sporting events, which is a trend nowadays. Digital transformation in sport tourism, when we are able to use digital tools to maximize the efficiency, the productivity, the effectiveness of implementing plans around sport tourism. Community-led sport tourism, where we found ways to connect in a very authentic way, in a very realistic way, the daily life of the locals, their engagement in sports and their life together with sporting events that are presented in a way to attract visitors for the city or for the destination. The creation of green infrastructure is very important, because if you want to develop sport tourism, you need to extend the infrastructure, but it has to be in a sustainable way. And focus on wellness and nature-based sports, which is a very important trend nowadays. And when we speak about wellness, we speak about improvement of gastronomy-related health issues, nature-based sports, more close to nature and environment. Of course, we have cities that they have events, but at the same time, we can promote the culture, the heritage through this kind of events. As a conclusion, I would like to highlight that, yes, definitely sport tourism can continue to grow and evolve as a powerful driver for achieving the UN SDGs. And as I said, is something that is doable if you have a very clear strategy and planning. And of course, we have to keep in mind that we have to embrace innovation, community engagement, and conscious practices for the locals and of course for the visitors, that we can create long-lasting impact, very positive impact, ensuring sustainability and also the best possible, let's say, future for our communities, and also experiences for the global travelers who are attracted by these events and by the destinations. So thank you for your time, and I will be really glad to hear any questions or any comments or anything that you would like to let me answer related with that topic, with specific connection with the destinations like Izmir or Turkey, and how to develop further the sport tourism in a sustainable framework. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this presentation, which is very, very informing about three basic pillars of sustainability: connection with sports tourism, social, economic, and environmental pillars. And on the level of course, the destination, local economic and technological integration of the sustainability to the sports tourism. And it was really interesting to hear this protest in Spain for me, especially over tourism, the question of quality and quantity, how can we manage it? Really, it's a big question now to, of course, provide the sustainability through sports tourism. What do you think about that? Thank you very much.
Yes, actually, we're not really surprised with these reactions. It, of course, is related with over-tourism, but I highlighted this specific case because it was related with sport specifically. The World Cup, America's Cup, is a very well-known sport for sailing, and it goes around the world for different occasions and different events. Barcelona was hosting the last time, and of course it's a very important event, a lot of visitors, but the way that it was organized, yes, it was quite successful for the participants, the athletes, for the event itself, but the way that was integrated and the city's, let's say, normal life for the community and for the residents, for the daily activities, was not the one that was expected, and actually was not any real value real there for them, more than, let's say, just disruption of the daily life and difficulties in terms of transportation or other things. So it's something that we have to consider, specifically for big sport events. Of course, we want to attract as many as possible visitors, but at the same time, we have to consider the locals, because we expect from the locals to be part of the authentic experiences for the visitors. The visitors are not coming only for the sport, they have free time to go around the cities, to explore, to communicate, to interact, to have this kind of cultural experiences. So if the visitors are not, the communities are not well treated or integrated in this kind of events, definitely we are going to have negative incident, negative impact and reactions, as we have seen in Barcelona and of course in other situations. I live in Paris. I felt also that the locals were a bit worried, afraid, even remote. They kept some distance from the sport, and because the city completely changed, not in a positive way, for the locals.
So maybe as the organizers, they have to look for the ways to integrate the local population to the sport.
Exactly. Exactly.
Is there any question? Yes? Professor Volkan Altıntaş wants to ask a question.
Hi, Mihalis.
Hi, dear Volkan.
Great to see you again, and thank you very much again. Very detailed, adding with sustainable tourism goals with sport tourism. And it was creative, I should also say, about your presentation. Very short comment, or maybe you can add later on, because we discuss time to time with you and other academicians from all over the world. You know, you want to add, as I know, you want to create one curriculum, maybe about tourism curriculum, valid or competitive for industry, also you know, acceptable for many regions and countries. How can we add now with your creative, you know, presentation, adding with sustainable tourism goals to tourism-related education, governmental bodies, even or private sectors? How can we use your presentation in real life? Do you have any idea, any projects or projections? Thank you.
Very interesting question, and actually the answer, as usual, is very customized to what exactly we need. As I said, sustainable tourism, of course, has values, has pillars, has methods, as you know, possibly I'm quite deep in projects related with monitoring and measuring sustainability in destination level. So all the time, the results and the outcomes, the solutions are there in front of us on the destination. So everything is related with the specificities, the authenticity, what we call the DNA of the place. It doesn't matter if it's a city or a small region or a bigger region or even a country. We have, first of all, to identify the real values, socio-cultural, environmental, or others, that are really connected with the people, the locals, first of all, because the value has to come from the ground, from the place. And the place includes the people. So in any case, we have to be ready to explore this and analyze these values, first of all, and second, to understand how we can increase these values, first of all, for the locals, for the place, for the communities, for the local economy, and at that time, to highlight the authenticities and these elements that will be attractive for visitors, not just to come and spend some time to have fun, but also to be part and create authentic experiences together with the locals, to participate with events, regular activities, daily activities that make the locals feel happy and proud about the place. So things are not so difficult. You just need to have a more holistic approach to what we are planning to do, to understand all the values and resources that are available, and make sure that you include everybody, create a vision that is meaningful for the whole place, not just to cover specific interests from specific stakeholders, what usually happens. I mean, for me, this is the best possible way to create value, and also you can present examples, you can create curriculum around that. Nowadays, I design programs that are related for sustainable hospitality, leadership, inspired leadership, responsible leadership, which means we don't just care about the performance of hospitality companies, but also care about the impact outside of the company, on the region, on the city, on the communities, something that actually is quite meaningful for everybody.
Thank you very much, Mats, always.
Thank you, Divya.
I think we have a question from a student, right? Yeah. Beck. Just a moment to pass the micro to student. Your name first, please, and which class are you?
First of all,
okay, I think you can hear me better now.
Yes, your name and your class, please.
Okay, my name is Egemen. I'm from Turkey. It's my first year in this university. I study tourist guiding.
Okay.
And my question is, I wonder your thoughts about the future of the future demand for sport tourism. Like, I mean, what do you think about the demand for sport tourism in the future? I mean, is it going to increase or decrease? Thank you.
The demand for sport tourism is related with the needs, and usually when we say needs, we say the needs of people to be engaged in sport tourism, not only as spectators or also actively engaged, which is something that can promote and increase inclusivity. Also is related with health issues. So we have to consider sport tourism as an action, not only as an attractive element that because of an event that can bring people to one place for a specific usually short period to be participants in something, but at the same time to create some value for them and also for the local community. I believe that each place, each destination is able to provide completely different elements, different characteristics, different authentic elements that are related with the destination, but also combined with sport activities, customized and reflecting real values of each place. And of course, this can create a continuous attractiveness for the locals, first of all, to increase and elevate their daily activities, daily life, and more engagement in sport tourism, but at the same time to invite and create attractiveness for visitors. So it's a matter of supply and demand. I believe right now we have a very well-known framework and abilities because of existing mega or other sport events that are quite attractive, like the World Cup or whatever. Yes, this is something standard. At this point, we have to control and manage these events better to avoid the negative impacts or additional to increase the value for the locals. But at the same time, as we have seen the example of New Zealand, we have a destination where 12 months around the year, their activities, their sport activities, very interesting, very well connected with the local communities, very well connected with the nature and the environment. And of course, this, as we understand, the activities are open and very, let's say, attractive also for the locals. So yes, each destination is able to find ways to do this or the other thing, or a balance or a mix. But definitely you can create a strategy to become more, let's say, attractive in a meaningful way on the sport tourism. And I believe sport tourism will be growing because the need for sports for individuals generally is going to increase.
Thank you. Is there another question to Professor Toğanoğlu? Thank you for your participation, Professor Toğanoğlu. Now, let's pass to second speaker of this session. The first speaker was about research of SDGs and sport tourism destinations, and the reality part now from the sector, Mr. Erdinç Ergün, diving instructor and owner Derin Doğa Dive Center, Turkey. The floor is yours.
Good morning. My name is Erdinç Ergün. I am running Derin Doğa Dive Center in Çeşme with my wife. So it's a family business. I've been diving since 1990. As a professional, 1999. And I'm in Çeşme all the time. I've been diving for many years. And sorry, I forgot to thank the organizing community and the esteemed professors. Thank you very much for calling me. I've been to many countries as well. So last week I was in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, and I had the opportunity of comparing the industries, the diving industry in Egypt and the diving industry in Turkey. Actually, it's very difficult to say industry for the Turkish diving system because when you see what the other countries are doing, it's quite difficult to say that we are developed in diving. In Egypt, I think the biggest part of their income as a country is coming from diving. It's so well developed, especially in Sharm el-Sheikh. It's a really industry. For example, people are diving, yes, but it's the end of the story. The beginning of the story is the accommodation, the food, the transfer, the diving leaders or instructors, the company. So it's a huge industry. And so even now, although it's not the season, so many people are there, so many tourists all around the world. in Turkey, especially in Izmir, in Çeşme, unfortunately, people think that diving is a seasonal activity. It's not we don't call it a sport. We belong to the sports ministry, but it's not. We don't think that it's a sport. It's an activity, but it's a sport-related activity, of course. So we are trying to develop ourselves in Çeşme, especially according to this session. We are trying to make Çeşme a destination. At the moment, it's not a destination for diving. People are not coming to Izmir for diving. People are coming here because it's a nice city, as we've been talking about earlier. It's a gastronomical city, yes, very nice trekking areas, history, everything. We are trying to convince people to dive when they come here. So the divers are not coming here specifically. So what we're trying to do is to call people for diving, especially using the travel agencies abroad, not Turkey, abroad, so that when people come here, they come for diving. It's a huge industry. It's a developing industry. And to be able to maintain this, what we do, for example, 2 months ago, with one of my friends, we are taking photos under the water. So we decided that it should be something, a big thing. So we called some divers from Greece, from Chios. We invited them. They stayed in Çeşme. We accommodated them and we take them around. And then we dived with them in Çeşme. They took photos. And then they invited us to Chios. We went to Chios, we took photos and everything. And this will continue with the other islands as well, like the other big islands, Lesbos or Samos. And at the end, we are planning to have an exhibition, underwater photography exhibition between Turkey and Greece. And last month, another activity we created. It was the underwater photography exhibition competition. We realized that it was the first time done in Turkey. So far, nobody or no diving centers has arranged an underwater photography competition. Our government is doing that, but not privately. It's never been done. We did it. It was so good. Now we are planning to do it internationally next July or June, probably June. And for this event, we are planning to apply to the Izmir municipality plus the tourism ministry, because we need some help. We cannot do everything just by our own, because so far, whatever we have done, we did it by ourselves. What I mean is, for example, we're finding customers by ourselves. We are giving them service. We are taking them to our boats. We are diving with them. So we do everything by ourselves, not as in Egypt. So we are trying to make this, convey this as an industry, if we can make it. For example, I should just dive. Somebody just arrange the accommodation. Somebody just must do the servicing or whatever. So this is our aim. This is not, sorry. Let me hold it like this. Yes, I prepared something to talk about, but so far I haven't used it. Now this is what I will do. This is our boat, and this is Çeşme. Maybe if we can turn the lights down a bit.
Sahne ışıklarını kapatabilirsek slaytı daha iyi görebiliriz.
So this is Çeşme, and we are trying to show this to everybody. Maybe you are not a diver, but you may see this through the photos or the videos. So that's the idea of the underwater photography competition. And in Çeşme, we have one of the best wrecks in the world for diving. In Turkey, yes, the best one. Best means anybody can dive because it's not so deep. Plus, it's quite big, 75 meters length. And it's lying at 18 meters, so anybody can dive. And it's in Çeşme. It's so beautiful. So these are the colors we have. They're all sponges. So actually what I was planning to do was to make a SWOT analysis to be able to see the real existing position of diving. First of all, our sea condition is quite good, which means we don't have strong currents. We don't have, I don't know, huge waves or hurricanes and stuff. But most important in this is we have history. Like in Egypt, you are diving, it's unbelievable, really unbelievable, really. It's a tropical sea, but they don't have any history here. We have a lot of history. So we have to emphasize on this. And underwater life is amazing. I just tried to show you some of our pictures. It was just random. We have really nice underwater life. And Çeşme or Izmir is very reachable, which means we have an airport, we have big marine ports, so anybody can come, anybody can visit Izmir or Çeşme. And our sea condition is very good, as I said. At the moment, it's like 20 centigrade degrees. You can still swim or dive out. The air is cold, but the sea is not. Only January and February, a little bit, yes, cold. But apart from that, 10 months, you can come and visit Çeşme for diving. It's not just Çeşme, of course. We have many sites, diving sites, like Foça, Karaburun, Seferihisar, and they're all very close to ancient cities. That's why the history is a very big thing for us. Like we have lots of amphoras and sunken cities, ships. So every dive site has a story behind it. And we are trying to create some value, as the other professor said. We are trying to create value by putting these statues. We did all these statues, and it's an attraction for the divers. This is Hacı Bektaş and Yunus Emre. This is another, the bow of the ship, the wreck. We have, this is, for example, a very good spot. It's a very iconic spot in Çeşme. We have a cave, and the light beams are amazing for the photographers. Of course, we have weaknesses. The main one is the season is very short. As I said, it's not actually, we don't have a season in diving. There's no season, even in winter time, even in under the ice, you can dive. But people take this tourism as a summer activity. That's why the season is short, and that's the reason why we keep having these competitions or exhibitions and stuff to extend the season. And fish farms around us is a big threat. This is one of our weaknesses. We have a lot of fish farms, a lot. And last time I was in another conference giving a speech and showing all these things, and the people, relevant people, were kind of quite angry with me because I said, I'm diving every day and I know physically and realistically, I can see it every day. But what they say is the things on the paper. For example, all these fish farms are, of course, we need them definitely, but they